Hey guys, Parfax here, and today we have huge changes coming to New World. We get another balance patch along with the update, so I wanted to bring it to you. This is going to be a pretty quick video, but I wanted to bring it to you anyway. So we have the Springtime Bloom event. I've talked about this a few times. It's just going to allow you to get your physical aversion pieces of gear a lot easier, and honestly, it's just the same old when it comes to New World events. You know, if you like that kind of thing, cool. If you don't, probably won't do it too much, but it will be very lucrative to actually get in there and get it done. But we have some very big combat stuff coming. Now, we knew they were going to give us some buffs and some nerfs, and they gave it to us, and they gave it to us pretty quick. So let's go down here to the combat, and it says fix an issue that caused Firestorm Heartroom. We don't really care about that. Updated description of Nimble, cool. Reduce the red color intensity of enemy spells and abilities, cool. People were asking for that. But here's where we start getting into the big things, and I'll give you, once we're done with everything, kind of what I think is going to happen. Slightly increased armor mitigation for both medium and heavy armors. Medium by 2.5%, heavy by 5%. This is not huge, but it's just a step in the right direction. The problem right now is they're just not able to survive the absolute onslaught. Now, did they overdo it? We'll talk about that here in a second when we go down the list here. So we have Fortify in Armor bonus adjustments. We have Shirking 4 increased from 3.9 to 4.7, which is pretty good. We have Sturdy Fortification perk, increased value from 4 to 5%. That is the perk on the shield, I believe. Then we have Great Axe Fortifying Whirlwind perk going from 10 to 14% per stack on the weapon, and then 6.6 to 8.8% on the armor. Then we have Great Axe Crowded Protection passive. I believe this is the one where you have 3 enemies near you. You get 10% reduction in damage. Well, turns out we're getting 20%. That is absolutely massive for the Great Axe, especially if you use Fortifying Whirlwind. That's huge. Then we have Warhammer Outnumbered passive, increase from 10 to 20%. I believe it's very similar to the Great Axe passive. We have Power Cleaner upgrade, increase from 10 to 20%. I'm actually not sure what this is. This might be the passive on clear out. Let me know in the comment section down below if you actually know what this passive is. But get a nice little, I'm assuming, defensive buff there. We have Sword and Shield defensive training passive, 10 to 20%. Nice little buff there. So across the board, we got some defensive increases on medium and heavy armor. And if you were the Shirking Fort users, there's a chance now that you might be able to use some Shirking Fort, especially considering the next few things we're going to talk about. First, we have the Fire Staff. We have the Watch It Burn. Temporarily disabled the Watch It Burn passive from being able to trigger off of a critical from the first hit of Meteor Shower. It will be re-enabled when a larger fix available. I believe the Meteor Shower is just critting every time, so they just took that out so you can't get it. Not that big of a deal. And then we have Flare. This is where we're going to start getting to the very big things. This is something that I had actually talked about in a previous video, what I think they're going to do, and they've done it. So we have reduced the damage of the AoE from 140 to 110%, and then remove the projectile slowdown. So this is a buff slash nerf. This is a nerf in damage because, of course, we are going to be lowering it by 30%, but we remove the projectile slowdown, which is a nice little quality of life. But this is still going to be a fantastic passive, and most people are still going to want to run it, but it's just going to do slightly more than a light attack now. Now we have the Pillar of Fire, and I said they basically had to reduce the cooldown reduction on it. You guys said it wasn't too broken. Well, they decided it was too broken as well. And here we go. Reduce the cooldown reduction value on armor from 17 to 11%, and the value on weapons from 30 to 20%. What this essentially does is this kills the infinite Pillar of Fire spam. This is fantastic. I told you that I didn't want to have to play the build, but because it was so overpowered, I just absolutely had to. Now, I already have a second set of gear that I'm going to wear as soon as this patch goes live. Because of all of this, it's more of a tanky Fire Staff build, and this is going to fit perfectly into there. So I don't have to run Pillar on my weapon. You know, it sucks for all the people that spent a lot of money on it, but we knew that it was going to get nerfed, so I can't feel too bad. I mean, even though I spent like 110k on mine, you know, it is what it is, and it's still an okay weapon, just not BIS anymore. Then we have a change to musket. Steady aim decreased how long it takes to charge steady aim from 2 seconds to 1.5, and from 1 second to 0.75 while in shooter stance. Then we have increased response speed of accuracy markers on reticle when accuracy changes. So we'll have to see how much this actually plays, see if musket starts to become like fringe viable. I don't know. I've tried musket out a little bit. Now, I'm not a musket connoisseur. I'm not huge on the musket, but it seems really bad. And hopefully this increases it just a little bit. But if the musket's not used, you know, honestly, it doesn't really bother me at all. Next, we have Ice Gauntlet Entomb. Reduce Entomb's health from 75% of players' max health to 50%. I rarely ever use Entomb to actually like stay in it for its entire duration or until my health or the health of it actually goes by. So I just kind of use it as a cleanse and cease or like an iframe almost. If Void Gauntlet fix an issue that caused Void Blade to have tracking issues with targets, maybe this is the ghost tracking. This would be a massive, massive buff to Void Gauntlet if that's the case. And then we have bow nerfs. We have added damage fall off of all bow attacks. Damage fall off will start at 40 meters and reach to 50% reduction at 100 meters. Decrease the hitbox size of heavy attacks and ability projectiles from 0.33 to 0.275. This is a pretty big nerf. It means you're going to actually have to be a little bit better with the bow to actually hit, and you can't just stay super far back and land. This isn't a massive, massive nerf to bow, but it's a big enough nerf to bow to where we're probably going to see a little bit less people start using it. Medium and heavy's got a little bit tankier. Fire Staff got some nerfs. So we have an overall not a super massive change other than this one right here. This is actually a massive, massive change. But now we have some maybe a little bit fleshed out meta where it's not as ranged heavy, but we will see. And then the rest of the stuff, you know, yeah, cool. They replaced some stuff. And honestly, we wanted the balance patches and we got them. All right, guys, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. I think overall, this is great for the game. I think we needed some defensive increases. I think we needed a Fire Staff and a bow nerf, which we got both. Bow is still going to be very, very good. Bow is probably going to take over the spot of Fire Staff for being like OPR oppressive. It's kind of been there anyway. Fire Staff is still going to be good. Bow is still going to be good, but hopefully medium gets a little better. Heavy was actually, in my opinion, not in a bad state. Heavy, you can go in there and you can survive for a very long time if you have a healer. Maybe now with an extra 5% basically armor, which actually helps you, by the way, with your Fortify perk. So don't think of this too lightly because your Fortify will stack on top of this. And maybe we're bringing back Shirking Fort meta. Hopefully it's not as busted as last time. I don't think it will be, but we will see. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe like always, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.